with Cedric.
I've seen it.
That's a 50-50 where it's either funny or it's not sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen something. I'm like, it's not really that funny. But
every time
Abbott Elementary, that's the shit.
Every time, because Deborah watches it almost religiously. Every time I see an episode where it's like, man, okay, this will be the one where I don't have to watch it no more. Then the next episode is hilarious.
Oh man, I hate that. They just suck you in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like bad episodes of the Arsenio Hall show.
There were bad episodes of the Arsenio Hall. Are you talking about the old back in the day?
Yeah,
there were never any bad episodes of
Arsenio Hall. Did bad episodes.
Man,
come on.
I used to stay up late at night just to see that. Knew I had to go to school the next day.
Come on, he dissed De La Soul.
I don't remember that, but I believe you.
Right. I got beef. Oh man, such a tease.
But all right. Are y'all ready for the intro?
We're always ready for the intro. You the one that got your finger on the button.
Debbie, you ready?
I'm ready.
Warning. This podcast is about the horror genre, specifically horror films. As most horror movies are filled with coarse language, violence, and/or gore, the topics and language of the cast of the pod will also reflect the genre. If you have any issues with the aforementioned warnings, please press stop. However, if you have no issue with adult language, movie violence, or the accoutrement that accompanies horror films, please feel free to continue. You have been warned.
I don't care what anyone says. You have to love the word accoutrement.
Yeah, it does kind of roll off the tongue. Really
The
nice when you say it.
Genre and accoutrement. Damn. Cobweb, how you doing?
Man, I'm chilling like a villain, man.
Nice. Deb, you all right?
Yep.
Even though you're like 4 feet over there.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like in a whole nother neighborhood.
Right, Josh. You in outer space. So why you give people hard times, man? Just relax, bro. Don't let this be one of them days, man. When you start going off of that.
Okay. So we got a special treat today. Oh, you know what we haven't done yet?
What?
We haven't introduced ourselves. I'm Josh.
Let me introduce myself.
And I'm Cobweb.
And I'm Deb.
And we are the dream team here at Cast of the Pod, the podcast that talks about movies, horror movies. We talk about what the movies made us feel, what we liked about them, what we didn't like about them, other topics that have nothing to do with the movie, but the movie made us think about it. We get sidetracked and stuff like that. And it's a conversation amongst friends, and we welcome y'all into it to listen to what we got to say. And sooner or later, maybe even today, we might hear from a caller and they can chime in too.
They're starting to call.
Yes. So all our social medias are at Cast of the Pod. So you can go to Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. Find us at Cast of the Pod. You can go to castofthepod.com, or you can call us at 786-763-2278. But the OGs, the hardcore, these of the Club 3P, which is at patreon.com/castofthepod. Shout out to all of y'all. Listen to Upkick MMA with our friend there. I was gonna say Brendan. I get
hit him with the horn, Josh. Hit him with the horn, man.
Where's it at? Oh wait, there it is.
Right, man. Come on, bro. They get the special effects at least. Gee. You mentioned Club 3P. Whenever you mention Club 3P, who you got to hit the horn.
There you go. Sam Haim, Sour, record scratch, Miss Black Cat, and once again in tribute to Dilla, the Anonymous Nobody. So
That's
big
what's
shout
up.
out to y'all. Thank y'all. We appreciate you more than you know, especially since I don't like paying for Zoom and we're using Zoom right now. And y'all are helping out with that. So
Thank you.
Let
Thank you so
let me
much.
tell you something. Yeah, they are. Let me tell you guys something about Club 3P, how they got hooked up. I'm not sure. Did I tell you guys what happened with Sam Hain
no, you
with
did
his
not.
De La Soul album that he got?
Oh no, what happened?
So we were looking online to see the value of this, that album that he got from us.
Right.
And it has skyrocketed up to $125 on eBay.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I should have subscribed to
I know. Me too.
patreon.com/cast of the pod.
I mean, like, man, he was sitting up there like looking at his face when we were talking about it, and I looked at him and he was just like, whoa, he's like, oh yeah. He had like a glitter in his eye. He's like, oh, cast of the pod.
There you go. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh man. So today we've got a special treat for all the listeners, the pod people out there. So Cobweb, we've been talking about horror movies. Well, not horror. Yeah, that's what we do. We were talking about vampire movies. And Cobweb has been insistent on wanting to talk about Frght Night. So there's two Frght Nights. There's the one from 1985 and there's the one from 2011. Almost 30 years apart, right? And it's like, all right, so we'll do a Frght Nights bit and an episode, and we'll watch both, and then we'll talk about it. So, life happens, gets in the way sometimes. And Deb and I saw the 2011 version. Cobweb saw the 1985 version, and then we both messaged each other, and it was like, hey, well, let's just talk about one episode because we only saw one. And both of us were like, okay, cool, bet, let's do that. And then I said, well, I saw 2011. And Cobweb's like, well, I saw 1985. And we were yeah, dope. So what we're going to do today, we're going to compare and contrast. Cobweb's going to tell us about 1985.
We're going to do cobsplaining.
Cobsplaining, there you go.
Oh, what the heck?
I knew it happened one day.
Sooner or later.
We can do cobsplaining and Josh-splaining. Because if we do Debsplaining, we'll be here forever.
Forever.
Okay.
So yes, that sounds good. You know what? Yeah. Both of these movies are down in popularity by 500%.
What?
Really?
The 1985 version's down by 511, and the 2011 version's down to 117.
You know why? Because it's that Frght Night Part 2.
Did you know that there's a Part 2 for the one I watched, and there's a Part 2 for the one that you watched?
No.
Yep.
I did not know that. I knew that there was a Part 2 for the one that you watched, and I read the IMDb on it, and I was like, no, that don't make no damn sense.
Are we gonna podcast those two?
Well, I hope not in my life.
But you haven't even given it a chance.
That's what they say about shellfish, but I'm allergic.
So check it out. Let's compare the description. Oh.
I shake my head at you.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so let's talk about the descriptions. Of course, we're going to start with 1985 and then jump into 2011 because that's the order that it happens in. All right.
Of course.
So a teenager discovers that the newcomer in his neighborhood is a vampire. So he turns to an actor in a television horror show for help dealing with the undead. That's yours. Here's mine and Deb's. When a nice new neighbor moves in next door, Charley discovers that he is an ancient vampire who preys on the community. Can he save his neighborhood from the creature with the help from the famous vampire killer Peter Vincent? So I've seen the 1985 version a lot back in the day.
Me too.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'm down to compare these. And have you seen the 2011 one ever?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
multiple times.
How about you start talking about it, And
for
then,
sure, man.
And then we'll jump in comparing it to the new one also.
Right. So this movie starts off with, like they say, Charley. He's in the bedroom making out with his wife. Well, not his wife. I'm sorry, his girlfriend. You know, I keep thinking about Married with Children because that's what the chick that played his girlfriend played in. She was the next door neighbor, something like that.
Jefferson, why did he call me a chicken? Why does he think that I'm a chicken? Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So she's like being all the tease all the time. And then when she does get ready to give him some, you know, he gets distracted for like a second and she gets all wigged out and leaves and stuff, you know, because he sees some guy coming in with some coffin next door and shit, you know. So he starts spying on the neighbor, and lo and behold, he starts seeing women coming up missing and shit. You know, he tries to get the police involved, you know, but it doesn't go well, you know. And for some reason, he gets his girlfriend. She enlists that guy, Peter Vincent, to try to help talk him out of the situation and shit, you know, try to convince him that, you know, he ain't a real vampire next door and everything, you know. So Vincent goes over to the house, and lo and behold, he finds out that he really is a vampire. You know, his friend gets turned into a vampire who's an outcast. It gets real crazy and hectic. You know, the next thing you know, they out there his girlfriend gets turned into a vampire, and she's going to try to eat him, locked in a room with her. And it's just some wild, crazy 100 shit, you know. See, it's the classic vampire stuff, you know. Everything sticks to it, you know. The crosses with the faith, the holy water, you know what I'm saying? The stakes through the heart, you know, the sunlight, you know, it all plays a role. They got to be sleeping in that coffin at night and shit, you know.
Let me ask you, Cobweb, how did the movie start? Because as we were rewatching the new one, it completely caught me off guard. Do you remember how the movie started? The 85?
I believe it started off with him making off with his girl or something, right?
Because in the one we were watching, it started off with a vampire attack just quick, just right at the beginning.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes. That's the way yours started off.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yes, and wasn't it his friend?
Yeah, the third friend that they you really don't see nothing about. But
yeah, you don't see anybody get killed in this movie for a while. You know, to the whole implications. You see implications of people getting killed, but you don't see anybody really, you know, him doing the deed for a minute. It's that lure of it that just keeps you guessing.
So the girlfriend in both movies is named Amy, but just so people know the difference between the 85 version and the 2011 version, we're gonna call your Amy Marcy.
Cool.
from Mary, you know, Marcy Darcy.
Right, Marcy Darcy, right.
So I didn't remember that. So Marcy called Peter Vincent up. She's the one that looked him up to prove that it wasn't a vampire?
I believe so, man, because she paid him some money to be there and shit, you know? I think she paid him like some money or something like that to get him to go there to the house to try to prove to him that it was a vampire.
I don't know if I'm getting confused with another.
She has like some savings bond that she has saved up like for $500 or some shit.
Oh shit! She just threw away her future.
Yeah.
So I don't remember if it's this movie or another movie. Was he a host of like a public access TV show?
Yeah, he was. He was the same thing. You know, he was he was doing the same thing. But I think in yours he was doing something totally different.
He was like a magician.
He was like Chris Angel.
Right.
But they did like an act with vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this one with the way he was in this one, you know, because the guy, the character was really, you could really see the fear in his eyes. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, he was just always a character, and he had to get into this character to kill this stuff. Once he saw that he could kill a vampire for real, it was on. It was on because he knew everything how to kill him from all the shows. He had that box and stuff like that, right? He had this crazy box, you know, and he opened it up and shit during the movies and stuff like that. He had all his tools to kill vampires with, you know, everything that you could possibly use, you know, he had pulled all that shit out.
See, that's the thing with Peter Vincent. That's the name of the character on both movies, played by Roddy McDowall in yours. And on mine, he was played by Doctor Who, David Tennant. And that your Peter Vincent, 1985, has always been my definition of like Van Helsing. Whenever I heard somebody talk about Van Helsing, just because, you know, Peter Vincent was stuck in my brain there, the Roddy McDowall's version, that's who I always envisioned as Van Helsing.
I can see that.
And then Evil Ed, the best friend. For whatever reason, I thought he was the guy from 976 Evil.
I can't remember that movie. That was a long time ago. That was like back in the
guy?
80s. Or was that something like that in the 90s? That's a long time. That was a lot of Cavassier back then. But but the Ed character of him being always the that he wanted to become a vampire was the allure about both characters, I thought, especially in mine, because he was always a shutout, you know, and the vampire approached him and said, you know, you're not going to have those problems no more. You're not going to get beat up anymore. You're not going to have to deal with none of that bullshit anymore. And that's why he chose to become a vampire. You know, it isn't like he didn't give him a chain. He didn't say he was going to kill him. He just asked him, did he want to be a vampire?
Well, see, in the one we watched, it was McLovin that played Evil Ed. And the guy from Kick-Ass, the Red Mist, the bad guy.
Yes.
And
great character in this too.
And Kick-Ass 2, his name was the Motherfucker. That was his name. And he didn't want to be a vampire. He was the one that figured out that Jerry was a vampire, and that was pretty cool because they were in Vegas in ours. I don't know if there was in yours, but they were in Vegas and a whole bunch of people are moving out of town, so there's a whole bunch of abandoned houses. So he breaks a window and he goes into the house, and Jerry's there. And he's like, "You can't come in if you're not invited in." And Jerry's like, "Oh shit, I can't go in." Then he just steps in. He's like, "The house is abandoned. There's no owner." I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
I liked him. I mean, I wasn't trying to, you know, I know you guys were going to talk about, you know, yours a little bit more in detail, but the 85 version, it just sticks so well, you know, it just does, you know, the whole fight. It was like a little bit in the fight scene was a little kind of corny at the end, you know, when they were stuck in the basement, you know, and they were trying to kill all the vampires, something like that. It was kind of weird. But when his girlfriend, when she straight started vamping out and her teeth got all fucking crazy big and shit, that shit was sick, dude. It was just, you know, you could just see the whole, like, this is not going well, you know, it's not. When they got in that basement, it did. You know how I feel about when things go to hell in a handbasket. It went to hell in a handbasket when they got in that damn basement.
Well, see, that's a good thing about Deb and I are still going to rewatch the original one. But I mean, it sounds so much, and then what I do remember of it, like the one that her and I watched, because they get down into the basement, and that's when they find all the other vampires, and they actually find his friend played by Dave Franco, douchebag Dave Franco, and everything goes crazy. That's when the girlfriend, she got turned also, and she's got crazy teeth, and it just, you know what though, the Jerry from your version was also one of my definitions of a vampire. I guess really? the time that I saw it, like, it just, you know, it stuck with me. And he's the voice of Jack Skellington Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes, that I didn't know. I just barely.
I did not know that either.
Yeah, Chris Sarandon. Isn't he also the guy from Shrek? Didn't he play in Shrek?
I don't know,
Josh. I mean, come on, man. This is not. I'm not. Do I look like I played the Kevin Bacon game all the goddamn time? No.
Well, I am IMDbing right now as we speak.
And I IMDb'd, and he is the other guy, Evil.
He's Hoax from 976 Evil. I guess that's why I get those movies so confused. Dude, he was in Tailspin. Oh no, that's not the same Tailspin.
It's not the cartoon Tailspin.
Deborah, he was in that horrible movie that you and I tried to watch the other day with Jay Leno and Pat Morita.
Huh.
Of course, he was in Child's Play.
Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He was pretty good because you know what? I thought that he was I didn't know what the heck he was though. You know,
What do you mean?
What was I mean, like I know he was a daywalker. But what was he though? He wasn't a vampire.
The same thing happened in the new one, because Charlie comes home and mom is all throwing the moves on it. First, she hates the neighbor because he's got this big dumpster in front of his house because he's building his torture rooms underneath his house, his torture jail cells or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then she sees him and he's all good looking. It's Colin Farrell. And she's all, now it's okay. Now it's okay for him to do whatever he wants. And they're out in the sun.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. I was like, can he be? But then it was kind of like the sun was going down a little.
Okay, so you know who he was? He was Prince Humperdinck.
It was
he was Prince Humperdinck from The Princess Bride.
Yeah, I knew that one.
That's the other one. Yeah.
Fucking Prince Humperdinck. I forgot about his crazy.
That's one of my favorite. Yeah.
That's the shit. I love The Princess Bride. Fucking Andre the Giant. How could you not love it? Oh shit.
As you.
Deb.
What?
You're still going on with that?
Yes.
Did you know there was a Frght Night video game?
No, I did not.
And you play as Jerry Dandridge, who searches his mansion for intruders to kill.
Really?
Dude.
I didn't know this. I mean, Frght Night's it's a franchise, man. It's a franchise. Those movies were pretty good. Regardless of the matter, Frght Night 2, I give it its props too. They had like great action in it. A lot more action than Frght Night 1. Where Frght Night 1 just kind of left you kind of crazy. Especially that one scene when he beat up all the black guys at the freaking bar. I was like, man, just when you think like there's not that many black people in this movie, then he like the Dracula like beats up everybody up.
Wait, in Frght Night 1?
Yeah.
Is there anything?
They were at the disco. Yeah, it was at the
2?
disco. Did you guys have a disco scene or something like that? A club?
Well, yeah, but he didn't beat anybody up in that part.
Yeah,
that's when he gets Amy.
They were in the
He
club.
can,
They were in the club.
He was chasing them.
And there's one big ass bouncer that he's like, that's my girlfriend. And he's like, it doesn't look like she's having a bad time. And he just grabs him by the throat and just brings him out.
Yeah, he did the same thing in 1.
Damn it! Now we're gonna have to watch part 1 tonight, Deborah, and then we're gonna be then we're gonna have to podcast next week about 1985, and Cobweb will tell us about 2011.
We'll do the vice versa one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because they was wearing them tight ass security shirts on. They had no neck.
As a former bouncer, former doorman myself. Back in the day, that is part of the uniform, sir. Please do not disparage the good name of.
Is it so that people won't grab your shirt,
Sure.
or is it so you can look bigger?
All the above. It's like the Ultimate Warrior tying ropes around his bicep.
Y'all are hating.
I'm not hating.
Nobody's hating, Josh. Don't you?
Asking a
There he goes
question.
again.
I'm over here trying to talk about Frght Nights,
Hey, you brought up
and
the
y'all
bouncers.
are talking shit. Just talking
Right.
shit.
See,
right.
bouncy.
Man. So I'm looking at IMDb for 1985, and I see Jerry Dandridge, Charlie Brewster, Amy Peterson, Peter Vincent, Evil Ed, all these names, right? And then they got Hooker,
Yes.
Bouncer
What
1,
is
Bouncer
Hooker?
2.
Right.
Now I'm
But
looking
what
at
was what was the guy's name? Right. What was the guy's name that played his what was it? His Loki or whatever his name is. What are they called? His
Loki.
Not Loki, his assistant or whatever.
Shit.
He did all the work for the vampire or something like that. What were they called?
A familiar.
His Renfield or whatever.
Yeah, it's familiar.
Yeah, it's familiar. Right. So I didn't understand what he really was. Even to now, you know what I'm saying? Because he was out in the daytime doing whatever and stuff like that. But then he was affected by the holy water and the cross stuff like a regular vampire. You know, even when they shot him, you know, he still got back up.
On the new one, they
On
didn't
the
have
new
that.
one, he didn't have a familiar.
You know what else
He
the
did
new
in
one?
this one.
You know what else the new one had that the old one didn't have? Lisa Loeb.
A Lisa Loeb?
Yeah, Lisa Loeb. She was the mom.
She was Evil's mom.
Cowboy, you don't know who Lisa Loeb is?
Wait a second. I'm trying to remember. You keep putting me on the spot. I keep telling you. Not today with the Kevin Bacon shit.
Not today, vampire. Not today.
Here.
Not
This is
today, vampire.
this is Lisa Loeb.
Can you hear it?
You say.
You only hear what you want to.
Can you hear the music?
No, and I think I might not want to.
Only hear what I want to.
Way to go, Cobweb.
Who is Lisa Loeb?
What?
Look her up. Look up Lisa Loeb.
Okay, is she like a
You
singer
have
or
to.
something like
You have
that?
to know who Lisa Loeb is and that one song.
I've never heard of this person.
Just that
She's
one
like-
song.
The Walk of Shame.
How dare you not know this one singer that had the one-hit wonder? That
You should just like put it on your phone.
I
and
just
then-
I just played it on my phone right
and then
now.
put it, like on the microphone.
This one.
I'm telling you, man, I'm not gonna know this song anyway.
Can you hear it?
No,
You
and I'm not.
can't. You can't
no,
hear
I
it.
can't hear it. I can't. I'm sorry.
I just put
guys.
it through
I'm
my.
sorry.
Are you joking?
No, I'm not joking you at all, man. I'm telling you 100, son. Why would I play with you, Josh?
I don't
mean,
know.
why
You're
would
messing
I-
with my emotions.
How could you mess with my emotions when you trying to play me some? What was her name again?
Lisa Loeb.
How about now?
Okay, now I can hear it.
That's Cobweb. I don't hear what I want to.
Just talking to you.
Okay, this is no. I'm not feeling that.
Nobody told
She
you.
was
you
in part
had
two.
to.
She was the one in your version.
Yeah, she
She's
was
Evil's mom.
She was Evil's mom.
Okay, all right. No, she wasn't in mine. Thank
Did
God.
you know there's a guy in the middle of the desert after Jerry finally vamps out and chases the mom and Charlie and the girlfriend down and chases them out in the middle of the desert, and the guy's got a Cadillac. He's like, hey, what's going on here? Blah, 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 blah. It was Chris Sarandon. It was Jerry from the original movie.
I was like, oh my God, that's him from the first one.
He was the
It might have been. I can't remember. That's one of those things. I think you're right.
100%. I know
Yeah.
I'm right.
It was
I
him.
know.
It was
Yeah,
him.
you just saw the movie, so you know.
Yeah, I know.
It was him.
Right.
You say
No, Deb.
you only
No.
hear what you want to.
Oh Lord, no.
So here's
I
the
didn't
cool
sign
thing.
up for that.
Yes, you did.
Back in
You
the
signed up for whatever we bring out.
back in the day before WB became what WB is now, the big conglomerate and all that, when it was KRRT TV in San Antonio.
Cincinnati?
Not WKRP, KRRT in San Antonio.
Oh,
They had a show called Herman's Head, and the main guy, Herman Brooks, that's Charlie. Yeah. Oh shit! You know who else he is? Deborah?
No.
He's Eric's father from Knock in the Cabin.
oh, you guys are telling me about that flick.
That movie is.
Yeah, I gotta catch that.
I'm
That's
gonna
on my
say.
list. That's on my list.
We got a
So
podcast that too.
okay.
So-
So,
so-
what do you guys think? Wait, I'm
Mm.
sorry. What are you down to still in this rabbit hole?
My point being that our Charlie Brewster is Anton Yelchin. And
Anton Yelchin.
he was Chekhov in Star Wars, and he's also the guy that died untimely because of a brake issue or something like that in his vehicle, and it crushed him against a gate.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's very sad, very sad. I'm not even being sarcastic.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So our Charlie's not around no more. Your Charlie still is, thankfully.
Yeah.
Do you know who the mom is in our Frght Night?
Isn't it our favorite mom of all time?
Who should be having awards and shit? Toni Collette. Yep.
Yes.
I have a question.
And she was good in this one.
She was. I have a question when we get into the 2011 version.
And then, do you know who else is in this movie?
Who?
The cousin.
Yours?
Yeah. The cousin of and then adopted sister of Sofia Vergara, her lesser known cousin Sandra Vergara. That was Ginger, the girlfriend of the magician.
You know, I would not
Vincent.
have known that was her cousin at all.
Me
Yep.
either.
Yep. You know who else was
I
in
couldn't
here?
even see it in her face.
Dave Franco. Wow. I have no idea what you're talking about, Cobweb. That is so offensive. What did you want to talk about 2011, Deb? Since Cobweb's being offensive over here,
I'm not being offensive.
I'm gonna
I
get
like
on
Dave Franco.
I'm gonna get on our Twitter blue check account and complain about how you're being offensive, Cobweb.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna get me freaking canceled? You can't cancel me, son.
We haven't even started.
Exactly.
Well, we're gonna ask Deb.
So I don't remember if this happens in the first one, but you know when they're on the side of the road when Chris Sarandon does his appearance,
Okay.
and then so the mom ends up stabbing the vampire. So she passes out, right?
Right.
So
Mhm.
and then she was like out.
She
for a long time.
hit her head
Oh, okay.
when she passed out. She hit her head on the road.
And then just like went into a coma.
She got a concussion.
Yeah, if you guys want to talk about that thing, that was beautiful.
So did it happen? Did that happen in the first one too?
No, there was no scene like that. In the first one, the mother never knew about the vampire.
I know I've seen it multiple times, but I don't remember.
We also saw-
Right. The mother, she invited him in the house, and then that was it. And she never had any more contact with him, so she wasn't even at play anymore.
Yeah, Toni Collette was very intertwined. Oh, our Amy, our Marcy Darcy, her real name is Imogen Poots.
Mm.
Yeah, Imogen Poots.
Morgan Poots. Is that a joke?
No, that's her real name. British actress Imogen Poots was born in Hammerstein, London, England, the daughter of English-born Fiona and journalist Trevor Poots. Well, I did want to make it Imogen Poots is what happened when I got home before we podcasted, but I won't go there.
I that's on you, man. I mean, this is your segment for yours. I mean, I've already, I'll let them know about mine, and I'm pretty sure that they want to go back and watch mine.
So what I really did like about mine and Deb's was our Peter Vincent was a Chris Angel type rock and roll movie star vampire hunter, and he has this huge collection and it's kind of like what Doctor Strange had in the Doctor Strange movies. When Thor goes and visits him, he had all these ancient relics that were all legit relics, and it kind of makes it look like he's just some douchebag with money that's buying all this stuff and it's just a gimmick. But then come to find out that his mother and father were killed in front of him as a child by a vampire. That's why he started the study of vampires. And then later at the end of the movie, when everything goes apeshit, Jerry says, "Oh, look at you. You're all grown now. You have your mother's eyes."
Yeah.
So is that what happened on the old one where they tied together that way?
No, nothing at all.
How
Nothing
did-
at all like that.
How did they kill
Peter
Jerry?
Vincent, In this one,
Yeah.
the good old fashioned way, sunlight.
Okay. Because in the
They
new,
stabbed him, and he was in the basement.
yeah,
When they got into that basement, right? That's what I said, that hell in a handbasket thing, right? And they had painted all the windows black, to keep the sunlight out.
right.
And they was already past the sun, and they started breaking the windows, and started letting sunlight in. And he tried to escape in his coffin, and they tried to stake him. They staked him, and he got out a little bit, and he's, the sunlight. Just before he got to him, they pulled down the curtain, and a whole bunch of sunlight came and hit him and killed him.
On
And he just blew up.
the mom stabs him through the chest with a she was a realtor, so stabbed him with one of those Century 21 stakes, through the chest, but didn't pierce the heart. So later on in the movie, he has this special stake blessed by Saint Michael or something like that.
That Peter gave him.
That Peter Vincent gave him, and he takes like some climbing gear and covers himself in kerosene, and he ties himself to the vampire, sets himself on fire. That way the vampire he's going crazy. He's losing his shit because he's on fire, but he's not dying. But he gets him close enough to where he can stab him through the heart
with the dagger.
With the spike, the dagger, the tooth. Or
yes, I remember that part very well. That was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a lot of work to do that. They made that seem like, because he was your vampire seemed a lot more powerful.
Yes, big time.
Than mine. That junk right there, he was a vampire with supernatural abilities that he used them at will. Yeah. That whole, like I said, that whole scene with the car and everything else like that when he was trying to get away, that was beautiful.
There was a really good scene, another really good scene in this one, when I think her name was Miss Granada. She was a stripper, a dancer, and
oh yeah,
yeah. So he takes her, bites her, has her under the house, and Charlie goes to save her, and they finally get out. And this movie is they know I'm a vampire. You know what I mean? There's no hiding or anything like that. So he goes to run with her because it looks like he's just keeping them in the house to feed on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But really,
you realize what he's doing.
What he's really doing is he's feeding on them and slowly turning them, and then he's rebuilding his army, which he has growing in the basement of his basement's basement.
Oh yeah.
But it's cool because Charlie's running with her. Oh, come on, quick, let's get out of there. And she doesn't even know. And they run right out into the sun. And she just just evaporates, this big jump scare. And
that was nice.
There's a shadow, and her calf falls down into the shadow. That's the only part that doesn't dust out. Went all Thanos and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the version that we watched, I think it was supposed to be 3D or something. Because a lot of
there was a whole bunch of playing to the camera.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think it did come out as a 3D version. That's when they first started doing that.
And
but it still played off pretty good.
Here's the thing, though. I am one of the 33% of Americans that cannot see 3D films. So fuck y'all. 3D.
Oh wow,
makers.
I'm so sorry. So you're the one. So you're that one where they always say, the warning about the video games and stuff like that, and this can cause problems and stuff.
Well, I can see 3D in real life, but I just can't see video games. I'm like the guy in fucking Mallrats where I don't see the schooner. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Oh wow.
I've never been able to do those
things. What's up, Josh? I'm sorry to hear that, man. I mean, so you never saw Captain EO?
I've seen it, but I didn't see it in 3D. Yep.
What was the point?
Why are you making fun of him for?
I know, you're hurting my feelings,
Why are you
Cobweb.
hurting his feelings? That's even his emotions.
I'm sorry.
So here's the thing. and we're not getting to, I'm trying to cheer myself up here.
I'm sorry. You the one that brought up the 3D thing, man. I didn't know you had this debilitating injury where you can't watch 3D movies. How long has this been going on?
Disability?
All my life.
Wow.
Oh.
So what did you do with Mad Comics?
What do you mean with Mad Comics?
You know, the Mad Comics, they used to have like the, you know, they had the 3D glasses in them and stuff like that, and like in the banana the other books, the Scholastic books when we were kids.
Didn't see shit. It was like, oh, this side's red, this side's blue. Oh, great, yeah.
Oh my God, no, for real? Oh man,
Yeah. Why would I lie about that? We're talking about Frght Night over here, and you're all worried about my crossed eye.
It's the 3D thing, man. 3D thing is like, I'm sorry. So what about holograms? Can you see those?
Kind of. I don't know if they're 3D or not. But anyways, why you gotta bring up old shit? I have feelings too. Supposed to be my friend, man. Next podcast only gonna be 2 people on it. And it's not gonna be either one of y'all.
It's not my fault, it's them.
What did I do?
It's just gonna be me and our call-in person from we got a call in. I'll play it later.
Oh my
on.
God!
But it's gonna be me and our call-in person only, because both of y'all.
Oh,
man.
what are you talking about? Oh, that's right. You said we did a call in, right?
We got a voicemail.
Oh man, wait, we got to finish this movie first. We got to wait.
Look, before we get into calculators, dooms, and all that shit, I'm just gonna say I very much so enjoyed the 2011 version of Frght Night. It's something that's gonna be in my replay background, just going on. Yeah,
I agree.
good shit.
And I can tell you right now that I liked the first one too. I just don't remember.
Yeah, I just don't remember it that much because I saw it 34 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the main thing that I remember is Chris Sarandon being the vampire and evil.
Well, for me, it was Roddy McDowall, the guy from Planet of the Apes. He was Caesar.
Yeah, I remember who he is too, but I'm just saying I don't. Like, I know once we start watching the movie, it's gonna all come back, but I can't.
Oh yeah.
Be like, oh yeah, I remember this part.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it'll come rushing back really good, and you'll be like, oh, okay, this is enjoyable. Pass the popcorn.
Yep. Popcorn.
Pass the popcorn on the left.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
popcorn
Frght Night's good with popcorn.
We should go buy some.
Frght Night's good with.
Right after this.
Yeah, you got to get the air popper.
I've got
hot air one.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're supposed to be talking about horror movies here and shit.
Well,
It
you
is.
have
It's
to
a part
have
of a horror
popcorn
movie.
with horror movies, so
Horror
it
movies,
goes
exactly.
hand in
That's
hand.
like we need to have like a little topic section of like best snacks for horror movies. You know.
Yes.
Anything with fat.
Right.
Anything
No, the
with
fat to
fat?
keep you. Yeah. No, it's all sugar.
Sugar.
All right. So I like mine. I like 1985. I thought 85 was it 85 it came out?
Yeah.
Yes.
82.
So what
Okay,
do you give 1985's Frght Night?
I give it an 8.
All right, that means it got an 8. Because divided by 1 is 8.
Cool.
Deb, what do you give
That was easy.
2011's?
I
Frght
give it
Night?
an 8.2.
Copy ass cat motherfucker. I'll give it an
Just got to
8.
get that little tip in, damn.
Divided
You're
by
all
2.
Copying us too.
You got it. All right. So 2011's Frght Night got an 8.1.
You know what? This is
Meaning-
not The Price is Right.
I know, that's what I was gonna say.
The remake got a better rating than the original.
You know, Price is Right when they're like, I'm gonna have $1. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have $1.01.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's so
then it's like-
stupid. The person, yeah.
And then the price is like 110, and they're like,
You know, before we get into the caller and all that, I know Cobweb's trying to bring more and more hip hop into the podcast, which I ain't got a problem with. But I will say there is one thing about hip hop that is not as good as most
Lisa
other
Loeb?
type. No, not Lisa Loeb.
Like
Than
what?
other genres of music.
What? Like Lisa and Cold Jam?
Ooh,
Ooh.
Lisa.
But no. What I'm saying, in hip hop, you can sample anything you want, and that's fine. That's okay. But you can't do a remake of somebody's something, because then you're biting. Right? You can't do a straight up remake. Now,
Yeah, you can.
In rock,
Call the cover.
can you do a cover?
Yeah.
Besides Snoop with Lottie Dottie,
We came to party.
Who's else done a cover?
who else has done a cover and not been
Um,
accused of biting?
Let's see. I remember Merce did a cover for I Used to Love Her by Common. He did one for that. But Merce thing, he didn't clearly,
yeah,
Common didn't.
it happens.
Yeah,
But
that was a pretty good one.
My point being, like sympathy for the devil from the Rolling Stones and Guns N' Roses, the Guns N' Roses version is better, and that's what happened here today, because Frght Night 1985 got an 8, and Frght Night 2011 got an 8.1. The remake, the tribute, the homage was a better product than the OG. That's all I'm saying.
Are you serious, dude? You went all around the mulberry bush.
Y'all are the ones that got in the way and slowed down the whole thing.
Oh, jeez.
So are you ready for the voicemail?
Dude, man, you've been talking about this voicemail message, and
Look,
all right,
whoever's listening, Brendan, Sam Haim already left a message. Miss Black Cat, somebody call 786-763-2278, because Chucky called and left a message. You want to hear it?
Who's Chucky?
The guy that called.
Okay, let's hear it.
You want to hear it? Here it goes.
Yeah,
Did so much drugs in the 60s. I still get high off the residue. Hey. You remember that? You remember that, Cowboy?
I was like,
Yeah.
please don't say you don't remember.
Yeah,
that.
I was like,
Of course, I remember that.
all right, hold on. Is it playing?
No.
Why is it not playing? Mother? Excuse me, there's technical difficulties.
I know, right? We haven't had that many callers, and this is like we've had like maybe a couple, but this is good. Only people just try to call to win T-shirts.
This is like our second one, right?
I think so.
Like our 200th.
We just round up everything 100.
Yeah.
Oh, here it goes.
Hello, my name is Charley, and I heard your podcast the other day, the one about the thing. I don't know what the thing was, but it wasn't the thing that I thought the thing was. So I just wanted to say that I don't really listen to podcasts, but a friend of mine told me that I should listen to a podcast, and then yours was there, and I saw the picture, and it reminded me of a grilled cheese sandwich, and I really like cheese with the tomato soup, and that's what your picture on the podcast, it looked like a grilled cheese sandwich with tomato soup. But I don't really like the scary movies because I don't like being scared. But so I'm gonna listen to your podcast, but don't be no scared anymore. Okay? Thank you.
What the fuck was that?
That was
Bro,
Chucky.
don't give him a hard. We're limited on what people call us.
I don't know where to begin.
Hey, Juggy, thank you for
This
calling in to Cast of the Pod, 786-763-2278. We love you. See how
Even if
that isn't your
Cobweb
home
doesn't.
number, is it?
See how easy it is to get podcast love. All you got to do is call 786-763-2278.
Oh my gosh,
He
I
said
love
his
this
friend
guy.
told him. He said his friend told him that he.
So
needs
what
to-
if his friend is Brendan? What if his friend is Sam Haim? Samhain?
Oh my god,
What
so
if
he
you're-
just pulled
what-
us out of a rabbit, like a rabbit out of a hat,
He said he
Yes.
saw the
because it
picture.
looked like a grilled cheese sandwich. What the hell is going on?
I tell y'all how important artwork is And y'all are like, no, y'all need to do the posters. You need to do the posters. Well, here's somebody looked at our logo, and they liked our logo, and
Because it looked like a grilled cheese sandwich.
it doesn't matter.
It
did
looks
its
like a
job.
I would have never thought that it does. Does it look like a grilled cheese sandwich?
Well, it's red, white, and yellow. So I
But grilled
guess.
cheeses aren't red.
But he said with tomato soup.
Oh, how could
'Cause
I have forgotten?
Tomato soup with a grilled cheese sandwich
We can't
with
make
some,
fun
like,
of our collars.
parsley or some cilantro or something on the top of the. Man, that's what I want.
That does sound good.
Let's go to
though.
HEB right now. This podcast not brought to you by HEB. HEB,
There is nothing.
if you want to sponsor us and give us like what is this shit called? The
Sponsorship?
No, the
Money?
money. No, but the sushi bowls, the poke bowls.
Oh, the poke bowls.
Yeah, if you want HEB straight up poke bowls on the daily, shit, I'm down.
Me too.
Hell yeah. I don't even know what it is, but it sounds good.
Sushi
It's
protein
sushi
bowls.
bowls.
Oh no.
You don't like
You
sushi?
know what's
No.
What?
the- Man,
No, I
Thought we
can't.
knew you.
No.
Why
I'm
not?
allergic.
There's no shellfish in it.
It's too much chance of cross contamination.
It's well, you
Okay,
could
I
try
can
the
say-
California rolls. You could start off with that.
California.
That's how I started off because I always said no. I'm not gonna eat sushi. No.
Yeah, I
And I
just
started-
can't trust it.
I started off with California rolls, and now
I can't. It's it's too much of an that would not be wise. I mean, I have a very severe allergy to shellfish. I'm sorry. I can't even smell it. I get nauseous walking around in the store when they have like the seafood out and stuff like that in the grocery store. I get nauseous in the area.
So you're
I'm just saying.
you don't want to review Jaws 3D with us.
Oh, I'll do that in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? But
That's my
other way,
favorite
no.
Jaws. I'll tell you that right now. Out of all the Jaws movies, Jaws 3D, when they're at SeaWorld, that's my
Come
favorite
on,
one.
dude. Come on.
what?
Come on.
Jaws
No
3D.
way.
That's
Yes.
mine too.
Yes.
Y'all tripping.
What's the best Jaws?
The best Jaws is the first one.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Oh, what?
Okay. Easy hanging fruit there.
Have you heard our Jaws episode with me, Deb, and Chuckles? Cast of the Pod?
No, because I was upset because I wasn't involved.
It was before we even knew you.
Exactly. You should have waited.
We can always do a remake.
Jaws. Yeah. Jaws is very important to Chuckles. He's got on his ogre like Shrek arm. He's got a Jaws poster portrait on his full ogre arm.
Oh, you know, Josh, I got it, Josh. Let me tell you something.
Oh shit! Here it comes.
Our caller.
Chucky. I've already heard this
Chucky.
thing like 8 times.
I know you have. I can't get it out of my head.
You want to hear it again?
Yeah, play it again. I don't care, man. It's our podcast. We do the hell we want.
You see, pod people, all you gotta do
Just call the hotline.
call the hotline.
Oh man, they're gonna be like, they're gonna play it again. I'm like, yes, I want to hear it again because I'm like freaking out about this Dick. And it's like he's stuck in my head.
And I heard your podcast the other day, the one about the thing. I don't know what the thing was, but it wasn't the thing that I thought the thing was. So I just wanted to say that I don't really listen to podcasts, but a friend of mine told me that I should listen to a podcast, and then yours was there, and I saw the picture, and it reminded me of a grilled cheese sandwich, and I really like cheese with the tomato soup, and that's what your picture on the podcast, it looked like a grilled cheese sandwich with tomato soup, but I don't really like the scary movies, because I don't like being scared, but so I'm gonna listen to your podcast, but don't be not scared anymore, okay? Thank you.
Hey,
I like how he says thank you.
I was gonna say, at least he has manners. You know how many people that we've talked online to about Cast of the Pod and all that
Yes. I God bless them. It's it's the price of fame. But this guy right here, he's a joy.
Also,
He's
big
a
shout out to Matt, fellow mechanic Matt. Hopefully he's listening to this when he heard his first episode with us the other day and wrote in and let us know. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, nice. Big shout out. That's what's up.
Yep. But yeah, man, that's all I got. I ain't got nothing else.
I'm good, man. Chucky, man, me and you gonna be call back again, bro. Call back again, man.
Yeah, Chucky. If you ever want to come out live on one of the podcasts, let us know. Same thing with Sam Haim. I mean, and any of our callers, until we get too many callers, you're more than welcome to pop on.
Even if we have too many callers, still can keep calling.
No, when we have too many callers and we're like, oh, you gotta spend money to get on, that's when we do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Deb, come on.
Because that's why we podcast, for all the bajillions and bajillions of dollars we make from podcasting. We don't do it just for the love of it.
I do it because I want to say I got a podcast.
I've got a podcast.
I do it because I like being famous.
Infamous. You know what infamous is, right?
It's bigger than famous.
More than famous. Infamous.
Oh, yeah.
Infamous.
Man. All right, y'all. So
would you say it's a plethora?
A plethora of famous? Deb, we're trying to get off the podcast here. And right now, I'm at the point where I don't have to edit any of this out. So all I got to do is throw some underlying track music underneath it.
And
so quit trying to go somewhere else. Shit.
Okay, I'm staying right here then.
All right, so don't forget all our social medias. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok is Cast of the Pod.
YouTube.
You can hit up any of us through there. You can send us a message. If you got a message for Cobweb, I'll send it to him through the Cast of the Pod one. Or if you just want to hit him up at Cobweb 411, right?
That's it.
Because he's got that info. Cobweb 411. And call us 786-763-2278. I said the number like 10 times this episode, so maybe we'll have more callers.
Yeah.
Oh my God, please.
And
I hope they just
have a number.
Not that there's anything wrong with Chucky, but we need more people, more Chuckies. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we're listening.
Yep, we sure are.
But all right, so until next time, I'm Josh.
I'm Cobweb.
And I'm Deb.
We are the Dream Team here at Cast of the Pod. You have been warned.
Bye, everybody.
Peace
Peace out.